So we are given the class interval and the frequency, and we are asked to compute quartile 1, quartile 3, quartile 1, quartile 3, interquartile, that's Q3 minus Q1, and semi-quartile range. So we are going to start with quartile 1, that is first quartile. We present as quartile 1 before we do all these ones. So look at formula for quartile 1, first quartile. So the you are given the first quartile is equal to lower boundary 1 plus N over 4 minus FB over F. This capital F and small letter f represent something. So we need, in this formula we have lower boundary. That means we need class boundary on this table. We need to plot class boundary on this table. So I have CB. This CB represents our class boundary. So we go to class interval, go to the first number there, 89, remove 0.5, add 0.5 to that 96. So when you remove 0.5 from 89, you have 88.5. So let us make sure that your calculator is functionable. You have 88.5 to add it to 96, 0.5 to 96. When you add it, you have 96.5, and this gives the upper boundary. Okay, it's 8.5 to 96.5. So the next thing is to go to the second row, go to the first class interval, remove 0.5, add 0.5 to 88. So if you remove it from 81, you have 80.5. When you remove 0.5 from 81, you have 80.5 to add 0.5 to 88, you have 88.5. That gives the second row of the class boundary. That gives us the second row of the class boundary. So the next one is, you go to the third row, go to the first number, remove 0.5 and add 0.5 to the next one. So 73 minus 0.5 will give us 72.5, which is the lower bound of this class boundary. Then you add 0.5 to 80 to give us 80.5, which is the upper boundary of this class boundary. So this is how we continue to do for 65, 4th row, 5th row, and we get all of this. Subtract 0.5 from the left, add 0.5 to the right in your class interval CI. Then we look at the formula we have, the lower bound. The next thing we are to determine before we compute for our quartile is N over 4. So this N over 4 talks about summation of frequency. We can get N over 4, but first we need to know what is our N before we divide by 4. So our capital letter N means summation of frequency. Everything you have under this F is our capital N. So add everything, 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 10, and this gives us 50. So this gives 50. That means our N is equal to 50. So we go back to the N over 4 and compute N over 4. So N is 50. N is 50. So it will be divided by 4 from the formula in the formula. So 50 divided by 4 we give this. Press your calculator. Make sure your calculator is in good shape. So 50 divided by 4 is 12.5. This gives 12.5. So 50 divided by 4 is 12.5. So the next thing we do is, after having known this 12.5 will help us to determine the quartile group in the table. So that's why we need cumulative frequency, because this one is used to determine the quartile group, and it is in the cumulative frequency that we can do that, and it's not in the table. That means we have to compute it. So we use capital letter F, small letter f for ordinary frequency, and capital F for what? So this one is small letter f for ordinary frequency, and this row will be for capital letter F for cumulative frequency. So we start from the middle, from the lowest. In your frequency you have 3. 3 is the first number, so in your cumulative you have 3. So when you add 3 to this second row of frequency, which is 5, you have 5 plus 3 to give us 8. 5 plus 3 is 8. So go to the third row. We are moving upside down. From down to up we are moving. So 8 plus the third row of the frequency. 8 plus 6. So this 6 plus this 8 in the cumulative frequency will give us 14. So move to the fourth row of the frequency, that is 8. Add it to the 14 of this cumulative frequency. So 14 plus 8 give us 22. So this gives 22. So when we add 22 to this 8 under frequency, you have 30. Hey, Jesus. Okay, so we'll add 8 to 14 to give 22. To give us 22. So when we add 8 to 22, we'll have 30. So 30, 22 plus 8 is 30. So this 30 plus this 10 will give us 40. So this is how we continue to add to get the last cumulative frequency. Is the frequency we are adding. So this 40 plus this 3 in the frequency will give us the next cumulative frequency. So this number is turned upside down. That's why it is like this. So 43 to get the 43 plus 4 gives 47. 47 plus 3 is 50. So what the final number in the cumulative frequency must be equal to the everything in the frequency, summation of the frequency. Remember your frequency is 50. So the last number on your cumulative frequency must be 50. So we now compute 12.5. Where can we see it in the cumulative frequency? You see that you can see 12.5 in 14. So that give us the quartile group. This gives the quartile group. So you have to trace it in the table. So we trace it. Have to show the quartile group, and it's from this group that we now use and do whatever we want to do in our formula. So this is the quartile group. First quartile, the quartile group. So in this quartile one group, first quartile, L1, to locate L1 and others, L1 in this quartile group is our lower band. Because all these are lower bound. So this L1 is 40.5 because it's in the group. The quartile group is 40.5. That means our L1 is equal to 40.5. L1 is equal to 40.5. L1 is 40.5. So the next thing we will compute is the FB. And this FB is cumulative frequency before the group class, before the quartile group. And this is 8. So the cumulative frequency before the quartile group is 8. So our FB is equal to 8. So FB is equal to 8. So the next thing is to determine the frequency, small letter f. So you go to that group where we circled. and look for the number that is in the group for the frequency. So the number is 6. So our small letter f is 6. We need all these parameters so that we'll be able to compute it in the formula. So this small letter f is 6. 6. Then the next thing is the C, capital letter C, which is the class size. From the class interval, you have your class size. So I have from the upper band of class interval, I have 96 minus 88. 96 minus 88. Okay, let's continue. We will continue in our next video to compute for class size and finish our first quartile. Thank you.